Hey guys, Minishcap1 here. The reason I want to share this video is because, one, I had a few comments in one of my other videos where people were wanting like more of a average game, I guess. They just wanted like a normal late game where there's like really no hard carrying going on. There's like no cheesing. It's just like a normal game, like everyday solo queue game. Um, where I don't get a jungle camp, where I don't win my lane really hard, which is fine. That's fair. Personally, I didn't really think that a lot of people wanted to see a game like this because I thought it was kind of boring. But hey, I mean, if that's something that you guys are more interested in, like I love to share these games. I have no problem making videos like this and sharing them with you guys. So this matchup, I think is important because it's a Kennen. If you don't know who this Kennen player is, it's Shaden. He's one of the premier Kennen players on the NA server. He was Masters slash Challengers last season, and he's currently sitting at Challenger this season. For runes this game, I'm running health per level yellows, armor reds, MR per level blues, movement speed quints, and the normal 12-0-18 masteries that I've been running for a few patches now. Starting the game off with a leash versus with the leash for Lee Sin is important because it ends up helping him win other lanes. He doesn't really help me win my lane. I get shit on this in this laning phase. I straight up lose the lane, but it ends up helping him quite a bit. So right here, I'm just leashing for him like normal. And the thing about this leash that you have to understand is versus a ranged champion like Kennen, who's really good at harassing Singed and bullying Singed, this early leash can be pretty detrimental, and you're gonna have to play really safe to compensate for it. The thing that you're hoping for in a situation like this is that Lee Sin goes and wins other lanes from the leash that you gave him, and if he doesn't do that, then you're kind of fucked. But you just have to try to not lose as hard as you can. Obviously, you can make the choice to proxy at level 1, but that means that your jungler doesn't get a leash and they have to start on an odd side of the map. It just ends up being really weird. Because sometimes the proxy pays off and the leashing doesn't pay off, and sometimes the leashing pays off and the proxy doesn't pay off. But yeah, it can go either way. Generally, at high elo in a game like this, you have good junglers, so I'd go for the leashing strategy in higher elo. But if you're in lower elo, like say you're in anywhere from like bronze, silver, plat, even like low diamond, if you're in those elos, then just go ahead and go for the level 1 proxy or go for the level 1 fast push. Say fuck your jungler, I'm just gonna try and win or not lose my lane as hard as I can versus a matchup like Kennen. But if you're in a higher elo, then it's generally better to say like honestly, maybe the cutoffs are in Diamond 3. Diamond 3 and above, at that point, probably just leash for your jungler instead, because then you start getting junglers who are a little bit better and know how to use a topside leash to their advantage. So right here, as you can see, I'm just trying to get whatever CS I can, letting Kennen slow push into me. Really hard lane. I just used my first potion charge there. Kennen's very good at harassing, and right here, I'm around half HP, just trying to like scrounge up whatever CS I can. Go for the wave over here. I know right here he's going to dive in because of how low I am. And once he gets right here, he goes for the dive. I'm looking to fling him and get courage with Colossus, but as you can see right there, I actually don't get the fling off because he flashed to like an odd position and ended up killing me, and I couldn't like get my curse on him and click on him. But he ends up executing himself, so... Or not executing, he takes a tower shot, and then I end up getting a return kill, which is actually pretty good, but I lost a shit ton of CS while that was up against my turrets. So even though he died after the dive and gave me a return kill, like, it ended up being really good for him and still bad for me because I'm still really far behind on farm at this point in the game. And versus Kennen, being at a farm disadvantage is really bad because you need items to survive. I have the triple dark seal after that kill, which means that my sustain is good, but the sustain is not actually great until you have corrupting potion. I don't have corrupting potion yet, so what I'm doing there is I'm seeing if I can go around and look for a proxy. I can't get around because he shows up, so I decided to just put the ward down and scout for Hecarim and then go back up to try and push this wave. Kennen is a very hard matchup. I just treat him kind of like the Teemo or Jace matchups. To where you have to like just try and avoid her. If you can't get a proxy off, then you have to avoid the harass as much as you can. If you can't get a proxy off, then go for it by all means. So here, he's pushed in, so I'm trying to walk around and look for a proxy. I noticed the Hecarim is standing right the fuck there, so again I have to back off one more time. I can't proxy just yet. He clears my ward, so I put another one down right there. Kennen walks up to scout me, and I can't walk past him. If I try and walk past him, then he's gonna just shit on me and make me lose like half my health. So I have to walk around him, which is annoying because I wanted to go in front of him and push those creeps, but I can't do that. So again, we're in a position where I have to let him push into me. Right here, what I'm doing is I'm looking at my EXP bar, and I'm noticing that I'm close to level 6. And I'm thinking once I get level 6, I can try and all-in this kid and kill him, because Singed at level 6, if he's full HP with his potion charges, will generally win a fight, and all-in versus Kennen. The problem is that since Kennen is so mobile with his lightning dash, that you have to catch him really close to your turret, and you have to be really careful not to get stunned. So I'm just waiting at level 6. I get level 6 here, and I'm thinking about how I can all-in. He knows I'm 6. He's being really smart about this. He's playing far back. He's a great player. So I just say fuck it and I pop everything to try and go for him. But he gets the he gets a stun on me immediately. My poison's already on those minions back there. So what I do here is I just run past him and try and, or it looks like I'm tired having it, but I'm not. I'm just running past him to try and clear the wave. I notice Hecarim over there after I go behind the turret, and he's trying to like catch me after I go over the wall with the wallflower. Or the blast flower, so I just say fuck it, I'm not even gonna go. Apparently he had this warded. The Kennen had this bush warded, so what I ended up doing was just avoiding Hecarim and trying to run down. Lee Sin's pinging, he's going on the way. So I walk up to Lee Sin. Lee Sin gets the QQ on Hecarim, we auto him down, kill him with poison. But then Kennen shows up right here and he gets a perfect ultimate spread out and kills me and Lee Sin. Unfortunate that that happened. Hecarim, see, the reason that I went behind the turret was because Hecarim was literally just on this side of the map. I didn't think that Hecarim would be right there. Like, there's no reason for him to be right there. So, like, logically, it was a fine decision, but the fact that he ended up still being there after he cleared the jungle is just like, well, I guess I'm getting camped. So yeah, I make Lee Sin die. I die. Overall, pretty disastrous. Thankfully, my bot lane is doing pretty well here, but yeah, lane's not going so well for me at all. My plan right now is to get Merc Treads because they have double AP. They have they have a lot of crowd control actually with Kennen, and the Merc Treads is actually really good versus his ultimate and the way he stacks sense. It's also great versus Zyra because she has a hard root that can really screw over Stinge if he doesn't have Merc Treads. Yeah, my plan is to go either Merc Treads or a Zezerat here. Zezerat would be good because it can pressure Kennen and stop him from leaving his lane to farm other to gank other lanes, and to spread his lead. Right here, I'm just going for a proxy because I know that I can finally go for a proxy push, and that means that I can pressure like Kennen without taking harassment or taking all lanes or getting all in or stuff like that. Which is really important. Ideally, I wanted to try to do this earlier. I wanted to be proxying way earlier before Kennen had a decent amount of like points in his abilities to clear the wave, but I couldn't do that because I got ganked, I got solo killed. Just overall pretty irritating game. But we made it work. So what I'm doing right now, whenever I'm running around behind the tower, is I'm just looking for opportunities to gank other lanes. Mostly, it's almost always going to be mid lane, and I can't find any opportunities to gank mid, so I run back up top because Kennen just used his lightning dash to farm the wave. I pop my ult, and I go for a fight against Kennen. He stuns me here. I try and fling him into my goo. I'm so surprised that didn't actually root him, so I just go for the tower dive, and right here, it looks like I'm going to kill him, but he ends up stunning me and flashing away, and living on like less than 30 HP. I think I see him after he regens some HP. I see him and he has like 34 HP right there. So that means he had to have lived on either 20 or 10 or even less HP than that. Which, oh man, whenever something like this happens, it can be so tilting, and it's just one of the worst feelings. Like, right whenever this happened, I was so fucking mad, and I had to try really hard to not tilt because I know that this guy's a good Kennen player. I know that if I fuck around, like, I've already fucked around enough for him to like potentially be able to carry a game, but if I keep messing up, then he will actually 1v5 hard carry as Kennen because he is that good of a Kennen player. So yeah, at this point I'm kind of really worried, and I'm thinking, well, I have to just try and not keep fucking up. and just not solo fight him anymore, because if I fight him solo, I'm just gonna lose. Like, even right there, without all-inning me, he just took a half my health like it's no problem. I was taking creeps, I guess, though. But yeah, it's okay, because the sustain from triple Dark Seal Corrupting is really noticeable. Here, I want to go for a proxy behind the tier 2, because my goal is to go into their base and go for a double proxy. And the reason I want a double proxy here is because I'm already so far behind that I might as well try and double proxy to catch some double waves and try and get back in the game. But what ends up happening is I'm going for this recall, and I'm seeing that Victor is pushing mid. Wait, no, okay, so actually, no, I actually end up getting the recall off here. I thought that this was the point where I get ganked, but it's not. So I go for the Negatron Cloak because my goal is to buy a ZZ Rat. Like I said before, the ZZ Rat will stop Kennen from going to other lanes, which I think he's going to go right here. So right here, I notice that bot lane's really pushed up. I'm pinging them danger, I'm pinging them danger, I'm pinging Kennen teleport. They start running back at the correct time. That's just something that you have to learn, like on an intuition level, is when you think the enemy top lane is going to TP, generally the enemy, because I've noticed that Kennen has not teleported once in this entire game. He has to have his teleport up because I haven't seen him use it. He hasn't teleported to top lane because every time that he's killed me, it's been advantageous for him, so he hasn't had to use it, which means that he is saving it to gank bottom, which is generally the correct thing to do. If you're winning top lane, there's no need for you to use teleport. If you're losing top lane, then you might need to teleport back to your lane. But he's been winning top lane, so I know that he's gonna still have it. So whenever my bot lane's pushed up like that, and I notice that Kennen's in Fog of War, that means he's probably gonna be looking for a teleport. I push that wave into his turret, make him lose some CS, and I go back around, and I'm looking for more proxy opportunities. Always use this flower to scout for the enemy jungler whenever you have the chance. I noticed the Hecarim's back there, and my bot lane just got a kill with the jungler, so I'm expecting the 1v2 against Hecarim here. I know for a fact that he's probably going to go for me, but I'm inviting it at this point because I want to make pressure for my bot lane to be able to push that turret. Once again, I go for the proxy over here behind the tier 3 and tier 2.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And right here, Hecarim comes to gank me. So I know that he wants to fight me, so I'm not popping my ult. I'm just trying to make him like think that I can be killed. So I'm baiting him. Basically, I'm baiting him right now because if my ult was running, they wouldn't all in me. But as soon as he ults, I pop my ult, and like basically it's just a bait because as soon as I have my ult up, like they lose kill potential on me because I have too much HP and resistances. I go for the tower dive on. What is the champion? The fucking Xerath. Victor's like trying to tank the turret for me to get out, but I don't want to run that way because if I run that way, I'm going to run right into a Kennen. So instead, I just take a wave in the base and I just go for the recall. Normally, I would stay for another wave, but Hecarim's about to spawn, so it's better for me just to get out. But yeah, in that fight, if I had my ultimate running the whole time, there's no way that he would have like fought me. But because I guess he thought that maybe my ultimate was down, or because it wasn't running, he went for the fight, and it ended up being good for me because it baited him into getting killed when he probably could have lived. And for that, my bot lane takes bot turret. So yeah, item-wise, I'm really close to ZZ Rat right now, and with Raptor Cloak regen, Negatron Cloak resists, my resistance per level, and my 2 Dark Seals. I did have 3 before, but now I have 2. It's still quite a bit of sustain if you combine it with Raptor Cloak, so, I mean, it's fine. Kennen does have Rylai's, so that's annoying, but Rylai's was nerfed for casters, so it's really not as bad as it could have been if this was like pre-nerf Rylai's, like perma slow 40%. This is just like 20%, and the stats are weaker, so it's really not that bad. So here I fling him into the root, and again I go for an all-in. I notice that I'm doing a lot of damage to him, but he's slowing me a decent amount, and he's getting away. I could have killed him here if he didn't have flash, but he did have flash, so he ended up popping that. Not really, like, there's not really a whole lot that's relevant information. I mean, I guess, like, because I took his flash away, he has even less kill potential if he leaves the lane, and it does let me take this tower here, but Yeah, so this is a case of basically Kennen's itemization being bad, like as a champion right now. Um, Kennen was he was super duper strong whenever Proto Belt was like meta. If this was back when Proto Belt was like still really strong, then Kennen would have like a lead to where I couldn't even touch him because he would just insta kill me with Proto Belt every time, or he would run bot and like insta kill my bot lane with Proto Belt every time. But Proto Belt was a nerf, so he's building Rylai's now, and that means that his front end burst is a lot lower than what it could be. Which means that generally, my bot lane, if they don't get caught, they're pretty safe. Even me, if he tries to front end burst me, I'm pretty safe here. So I take that wave. I'm just recalling here. Uh, they don't face check this, so it ends up being okay. I get Z0 out. Even though all 3 items are taken, I already have the 2 components, so I might as well just buy it at that point. And I'm thinking of what to buy, and I end up deciding to go for a Rylai's here. And or do I? No, I get a health crystal. I guess I wanted to go for RG, but I want to put my Zizirot in mid lane, and the reason I want to do that is because this is still patch. This game was played on 6.6.2.4, and you could put it here, and it would hit that tier 2 turret. It's not going to be able to do this at 7.1 because it's only going to go half as far, but it's just a good, like, annoying little thing to put in mid lane.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, so here because Zyra was picked off, what I'm doing is I'm running top, and I know that it'll be a 4v4 in mid, which my team is really strong in a 4v4 right now, and I'm pretty much good to push this top lane, just because of my team like picking up so much slack. This lets me create a lot of pressure on top and make Kennen lose even more than he probably should, for him being as far ahead of me as he is. Yeah, games like this, for Kennen or even like any enemy champion, like they can probably get really depressing. Because he won lane versus me really hard, but the only thing that I'm doing that's letting me stay in the game is I'm just playing macro. Like I'm going to farm when I know I should be farming. I'm pressuring at the right times. I'm pinging whenever Kennen teleports. I'm letting my team know where he's going, what he's doing. Right here, I see him flanking, so I teleport mid onto my Z0 lane. Pop everything, and then I stay away from his ult to try and not get stunned. Fling him away from my team, get the kill. Just really basic gameplay. I guess not basic, but it's like that. That's just like what you. It plays like that. Okay, yeah, basic is the wrong word. Plays like that become instinctual. It's really instinctual gameplay. That's just something that you don't, after a while of playing Singed, you don't even think about making plays like that because it comes so naturally. That's one of the main things that Singed can do in the mid game is just stop a flanker with his teleport, peel them off of his team, get them away from his team, and then just get kills like that in the mid game. Singed is pretty decent in the mid game. So right here, what I'm doing is because I have full health and a decent amount of mana, I also have the Ocean Dragon. I'm just farming because I know that I won't go out of or out of HP, getting as much gold as I can. Killing these Krugs actually gives a huge amount of gold. After that that Krug dies, I put Z0 down because Z0 comes out cooldown, and I start sieging this bottom turret with it. I have a large amount of gold right now. I went from like 2,300 to 2,700 just over the course of taking those Krugs, I think. Just gold regen and the fact that my Zizrat is killing minions, but yeah, just basic farming here, just pressuring. Something you want to be aware of how much gold you have on a back, because yeah, I have a lot of gold, but which means I'm ahead for sure. But you're technically not ahead until you've bought those items. Me sitting on 3,000 gold means that I'm only as strong as I was like 5 minutes ago. making sure that you recall at appropriate times to actually buy your items when you have them is important. A lot of streamers that you'll watch, I've noticed this, and some other people notice this, is like a big part of being knowledgeable about the game and just like generally having high elo gameplay is just knowing when to back and when to buy your items specifically. Because if you don't buy your items at the right time, then like what's the point of having them? You know, you gotta have your cake and eat it too. Basically, you have to know when to buy your items. You have not, in addition to knowing how to farm your items and be able to buy them, you have to actually know when to go back and buy them. But yeah. So sitting on 3,500 gold here, just me going bottom and like farming has allowed my team to like group behind me and start pressuring. My bot lane goes for like a Nexus dive for whatever reason, then we end up not being able to finish the Nexus, even though I really wanted to finish that. But I guess we're just not able to there because they went for the Nexus dive. Word of advice to any people who are watching this: don't ever like. It's so hard to resist the urge to Nexus dive when you're winning. I know it's hard to resist, but it's a bad habit. Nexus dives make you lose games, because if you fuck up near the Nexus, like you're giving them an opportunity to come back in the game when they shouldn't, when you shouldn't be giving them one. That's the last time you should be giving them an opportunity to come back, is right when you're supposed to win. Okay, so I actually did end up going for a Rallies there, and my logic was I want to try and peel Kennen away from my team. I don't necessarily need to dive their backline because my backline is doing all the damage for me this game. I'm not playing a carry role this game. I'm playing more of like a peeler role. I'm just making sure that my backline stays alive, that Kennen doesn't get onto them, which is why I wanted to go for a Rallies and just help slow him down whenever he comes in, potentially trying to help my team avoid some of his damage. So my ZZ route wears off in bot lane, and I'm running towards mid and just clearing this. I see Kennen top, so I originally wanted to put my ZZ route up top, but I put it here in mid, and then I ping my team that we're gonna group mid, we're gonna group bot, sorry, and go for this first inhib. And I notice that Lee Sin goes over the wall, tries to get Xerath, but he flash ghosts away, just runs away, you know, no, pretty clean. My ZZ route's pressuring mid while we pressure this inhibitor. I see that Hecarim is charging, so I put my W where I think he's going to run. He immediately backs off. ZZ Rat's doing work mid. We go and push the mid turret here. If you notice what I'm doing with my Mega Adhesive is I'm just putting it out in front of where I think Ken is gonna engage onto my team from, because if I can slow him on his entry, that means that he has less of a chance to get into my Misfortune and Janna's face and burst them down, because those two are doing the majority of damage for this team right now. I guess mostly Misfortune, but I want to keep Janna alive as well because she's going to keep Misfortune alive by extension. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more games where I lose lane and try and like make a comeback instead of just like games where I'm stomping the lane and like pressuring people and stuff like that, because this might put like a bit of a different perspective on it for a lot of people. Like, yeah, you can still like not lose. Well, I guess I did lose lane this game. Even if you lose lane, like you can still be relevant just by pressuring the map. And that's a concept that I think a lot of people need to like be aware of, because I know a lot of people just like tend to give up really early on. If they lose their lane, that's not a good mentality to have. You wanna stay strong and mentally in your games, and just recognize that it's always possible for you to be relevant. Unless you're like 0 and 15, then you're probably not relevant if you're just getting stomped that hard. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you haven't, and I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.